Duncan Parker, who is going to take over and lead the discussion.
Thanks very much, Rajan. And I'm very conscious that I'm the one thing that stands between everybody in here and a glass of wine. And hopefully everyone at home, you're about to get one too. It's very warm here in Nîmes, kind of almost warning us about global warming. So we're looking forward to that. So we have a few panelists just to come and join me. Thank you very much, Quim. Yeah, come and join us. Great. And I think Didier, is he here? Didier here? On his way? Great. Okay, he can join us, which is great. We have Nadine, which is fantastic. Thank you. I don't know if Melanie's here. Also here. Cool. Good stuff. And come and join us. Thank you very much. Great. You are. Come and join us, please. Great stuff. Okay. So we have just a few minutes. I'm going to try and get us out of here on time at 6. Hey, well done. You made it. I'm going to try and get us out of here by 6, but you have quite an important task. We're to take the last 10 hours of conversation, and I don't know if everyone agrees, I'm sure you do, the content of what we've had today is huge, deep, interesting, and sometimes we've been able to go deep, sometimes we've skimmed over the surface, but our job in the next few moments is just to come up with some takeaways from the day. So what I'm going to ask you to do, I'll just give you some notice. If you have one or two, that would be great. We do have just a few moments. Your takeaways, and then if you can, try and think of one word that might sum up the day for you, of your takeaway today. One word, so a couple of takeaways, and then just to finish, I'll give you a chance to give one word. So just while you're thinking of that, I was kind of taken by the fact that the biggest cheer of the day, I'm checking my notes here, just to make sure I'm correct. Yep, the biggest cheer of the day went to Melanie and Fejo, who were talking about wine tourism. And that they got a massive tour, and I thought that said quite a lot about the people gathered here, that we're ready for that. And then the best laugh of the day went to Scott and the giraffe joke, which was good. So they were the light takeaways for me for the day. The biggest takeaway for me, just to give you some time to think of the day, I was really taken with the discussion on measuring and on certification, and I think there's been lots of discussion there about how we do that and how we do it well. But there was a comment that I saw online, which I thought was really good from the guys watching at home, just to give you guys a shout out, was that do not let thinking about measuring get in the way of doing something. And I thought because of the urgent acts, I really liked that. I saw that online. So that was a really big takeaway, that we have to start doing something, not just think about how we measure it, or as well as thinking about measuring it. So let's go left to right, if you don't mind, and we'll start with you, Quim.
Yes, first of all, I have to say that the first learning is it's my first time in Nîmes, and although I live quite not far from here, I have to say it's an amazing city. I'm really surprised, very nice. The second thing, the debate that you were saying about offsetting the carbon or cutting, it was an amazing debate with several different opinions. But the good thing for me is that we have many ways of acting, and just applying some creativity, we can do many things. So although the people, it has been quite interesting, because although there was quite different point of views, at the end, for me, the lesson learned is that there's a lot to do, and it's not really difficult to do things to improve or decrease the footprint in the industry. So I think these are good news. And finally, a sentence that really touched me is that we cannot talk about sustainable tourism without talking about sustainable peace, which I think is really important in the times that we are having now.
That's great. Thank you, Quim. Nadine?
I'd just like to comment on the incredible partnerships that we've been able to hear about, and partnerships between private and public, and private and the community. I think it's just, we've been presented a lot of information and a lot of challenges that people are trying to overcome, and it's like, wow, you can actually get things done if you just partner on it. So I hope that some of the things that we talked about today, especially kind of when it comes to, I was really interested about the ski case study, is how do you reach out to other people and let them know, hey, I need help with this? Because I think there's a lot of opportunity for collaboration, and so much of it comes out from just like a conversation over a glass of wine. So see you all over a glass of wine. So I thought that was really interesting. And then the other thing that is also I'm passionate about is climate, and I thought the carbon offset panel was just fantastic. And their preview that you can't necessarily buy your way out of polluting, but like let's look at how do we educate the customer on what carbon offsets are and make sure that they know that you know, they're good and high quality. I think that's a challenge that we struggle with at the Travel Corporation, is how do we get the message of what carbon neutral is across. So I think there's a lot of work still to be done with educating others on carbon neutral and carbon offsets and all that fun stuff, but they do have an important role to play, I think, in the climate crisis. So those were my takeaways.
Thanks, Nadine. The collaboration piece I took away quite strongly as well. What was interesting, we talked a bit about competition, but that the best competition would be if we collaborated together. And then another comment I heard, which I really liked, was the collaboration with communities, the communities that are hosting us, and how they become part of the solution, not just the service providers, but actually start to participate in our industry. That's great. Thank you, Nadine. Thank you.
That microphone doesn't work, so here we go. Okay, I have 2 words, sorry.
Okay, no, it's good.
Hard to do one. Innovation and collaboration. We just talked about collaboration, but I'm going to second that motion. Innovation, I want to say this. We're facing a climate crisis. The world's in peril. Biodiversity's in peril. Did you know we're putting a credit card worth of plastic in our body every week through humanity? We're putting that much plastic in our body. That's another crisis. Plastics. We should have been working on all these things about 40 years ago. But anyway, the good news I took from today is that there's a lot of, not just today, but innovation. So here we are at a point in the world where we're in trouble. We've not managed the planet very well for humans. But the technologies today are so robust. And what would they look like 5 years from now, 10 years from now? That gives me hope. So whether we're talking about measurement or systems, I think innovative technologies might be a way out. So that's a good thing. But on collaboration, there was a lot of that today. Partnership, Nadine, you mentioned that word. It's so important. You know, I touched upon it a little bit in my session with Travelist. I mean, Travelist is a remarkable thing. People don't understand what's going on, so I'll explain it for you. To sign on to Travelist means you will share your methodologies on sustainability pre-competitively. We've got Booking.com, TripAdvisor, Google.com, Expedia, Trip.com, Visa cards. Wow. The power of AI or blockchain or whatever Kit doesn't want us to talk about is phenomenal with that. And really, I think great things are going to come out of that. And so we're hearing so much more about collaboration, and I heard a lot about it today, partnership and collaboration. You know, I've known Brett Tolman for decades, and I've been a tour operator. And something we've always talked about on the 3 continents where I've been on committees of trade associations is that, you know, we have a vested interest as an industry. If somebody has a bad time with your brand on one trip, that negatively impacts us. And there's been a lot in some subsectors of understanding of that. We need a lot more. The whole industry's at risk. The whole industry's at risk. And aviation is the Achilles heel. We can do so much more on land and water yesterday. And we're starting to see the impacts of technologies and of collaboration. We need a hell of a lot more collaboration and partnership, but it's really encouraging to see recently what's going on, including today.
Thanks a lot. So yes, all have been already said. If I have a few words, what that could be? Collaboration, that could be maybe the 5 new P. It's not the 5P, it's partnership between public and private. So, and that shows a complexity from my point of view, because the cash is there, standard, certification could be easily there. Innovation for the SAF is there. That's only an example, or some new building materials and so on for reducing CO2 there, and we have the cash. But what is missing for the action is who lead who drive. And with the old panels and so on, I cannot find who could drive. What's all the industries, firms, states would like to implement, because anyone who would like to move first, really. Of course, we have a lot of initiatives, etc. at local scale, but how it could be at scale for the planet. And that's a big, big, big topic. Who could have the drive? And the last word, maybe I would like to highlight, is trust. Because we need to find, maybe that could be resolved with collaboration, but the trust for the customers at the end. So education is trust, transparency. What could happen regarding trust for passengers, for customers coming back or continue to travel, because industry needs their cash for investment. So trust and who lead, that's will be the key takeaway. It's not an answer, but the industry needs to find some solutions.
Great. Well, that brings us to the end of our day, ladies and gentlemen. So I will hand back to Rajan. Is there anything else you wish to say?
Only just to stop everyone from sprinting out to the wine bar that you were talking about. Before I finished, just to say thank you all very much for the ones who remain, but also for everyone who was here today. It has been a brilliant day. There's another day tomorrow, bright and early, 9 o'clock at the, well, not that early actually, at the Novotel. For those of you who are going to the gala dinner tonight, I'm not even sure where it is. The program doesn't say that. The program, no one knows. You just. Sorry? Iberto Hotel. Okay, it's the one, Imperator Hotel, the one that some people are staying at, actually, I think. I don't know where that is. I think it's a taxi ride from here. Anyway, I'm sure we're all capable of finding out where it is. And see you all there if you're going. Otherwise, see you tomorrow morning. Thank you.